Hello, guys.
Do you hear us well? Can you please confirm in the chat?
Let's do a sound check.
Okay, perfect. Sure, so we'll start. As always, this is Valery and Dennis, founders of Swistronic and Chief Product Officer and Chief Technical Officer, respectively. We would like to share the updates about the development, about the community, and answer some of the questions that were previously sent to us before the actual stream. So let's start with the development updates. We were concentrating on one of the last pieces of the tech that we need to deliver. This is ZK tokens and ZK SDI. Both of them provide additional privacy layer to the software that we're building. At this moment, all transactions are secured by trusted execution environment, but at this moment they will also have additional layer of security via ZK, and you would be able to actually convert any kind of currency, let's say BTC, Ethereum, or USDT, anything else, on our chain and make it private. Send it to the person that you want to, and then the person will be able to convert it back to the original currency, and the transaction itself would be untraceable in some way. But it's important to mention that it will work only for users who have verified their identity via SDI, and only for the assets that were screened for anti-money laundering and that these assets are not stolen and so on, so that you have this layer of privacy that you want to have. But we won't accidentally help someone break the rules. ZK SDI, on the other hand, actually makes our traditional SDI compatible with EVM networks and adds a list of additional features there. But most importantly, adds additional layer of privacy for your personal data, not revealing it anywhere. And yeah, we believe that's quite important. Also, regarding the Telegram wallet, we have heard you during the previous call. At this moment, we are discussing the additional security measures that we could add there. And also, highly likely, we'll provide you an option to do some community mining of the tokens before the launch. And that may be quite a huge and nice one, we believe. So let's jump to the community updates. In the first place, this is TGE. A lot of people are asking when we're going to launch. And we want to say that at this moment we are working on the launch pads where we'll start and listings. Everything is mostly done. And we'll announce the TGE date highly likely before the new year, maybe in the first days of 2025. But I would expect it to happen in the late January or mid-February, somewhere there. Regarding the grants program, quite soon we'll showcase some of our grantees, what they're building, and just reveal them to you so that they'll have a bit more exposure. And we're quite happy to have them on board. So that's quite important, not only for them, but also for us. And also this week, we'll finalize the review of the new grant applicants, and there are quite a lot. Most of them are lovely, but we need to narrow down the list to only the ones that are, most suitable for our ecosystem. We'll share that soon too. I had several calls with validators during this and previous weeks, and they were all asking about the way how the rewards would be distributed, who would be actually in the mainnet, who will still work on the testnet when the mainnet is up and running, and so on. And I want to say to all of them that at this moment we're preparing a document with the instructions on the launch and with the specific details on which validators are going to receive more delegation, less delegation, and which of them will get which roles. So quite soon this info will be announced. Stay tuned. We'll share that ASAP. And regarding the promotion and the community in the first place, Ambassador Program Phase 2 have launched. We already received several hundreds of applications. We're going to review them during this next weeks, and we're quite happy to see you apply for the next season on the next week. And now let's go to the questions. That's all for the updates. Also, if you have any additional questions, feel free to ask them in the chat, because when we'll finalize the questions that were sent before, we go to the chat and find the new ones. So We'll be happy to share that. Okay, the first questions come from Keepon. Many people in the Swisstronic community, especially on Discord, are asking if there are any other ways to earn SWTR allocation besides participating in the ambassador program and the testnet campaign before TGE. Also, I already see in the chat a question: can you share more details about community mining? And highly likely the answer to both of these questions would be the same. You would be actually able to mine some Swisstronic tokens via the Telegram app. We'll share the details quite soon. Hopefully that will happen before the new year, so that you'll have the first gift under your Christmas tree, let's say. Also, other ways would be shown quite soon, but stay tuned. We don't want to reveal anything at this moment. How is Swisstronic progressing based on the roadmap available on the website? Will it proceed as scheduled? Yes, at this moment, we already have the SDI finalized. We have the first business partners who are actually providing the compliance services for this SDI, and also a couple of SDI users, the companies who are building the solutions based on the SDI. The next huge step that we should do is ZK tokens, and that's actually what we're working on right now. We really hope that we'll finalize them before the new year again, but who knows? However, we are already doing internal tests, and everything is looking quite fine. I've heard rumors that some exchanges are currently charging significantly higher fees for listing tokens. What are your thoughts on this? And could it have a major impact on Swisstronic TGE? It really depends on the project, because for some projects, the listing fees are lower, for some are higher. But definitely, when the market goes up, the prices go up. Mostly,
As well.
Yeah, as well everywhere. So that's just how the financial system works. That's okay. It should not have any major impacts on us. We already have the exchanges that we want to launch on. We'll get the final commitments, and we'll share the details with you. Jumping to the next community member, Innovative IT Pro. Can you explain your approach to interoperability with other blockchains?
Yeah, well, as we have explained on previous community calls, mainly I would say that we try to use either IBC or cross-chain tools such as Hyperlane, or state replication tools such as Rarimo for different mechanics, and I would say different approaches. So we've had previously several contests and several demos. Also, as well, of course, as being part of the Cosmos ecosystem, we have a rich IBC ground to tap into once we launch. So I think there should be no problems to interoperate with a lot of different blockchains. So what measures are in place to prevent hacks or vulnerabilities? Well, first of all, of course, we try our best to do the review and test everything, but also we have an ongoing security audit. I believe we have also one question about it down the line, but anyway, so I think when we'll have the results, when the audit will be done, we'll fix problems that will arise, and so we'll do our best to prepare for the launch.
Yeah. Also, I want to add here that we have the bug bounty program, which is up and running.
Yeah.
And if you feel that you can find some bugs in our software, you would be rewarded. So yeah, please apply for that if you feel that way. What's your most ambitious goal for the next year? Actually, one of the most important things is to actually list and launch the token. Of course, that would be the Q1 most important goal. Also, this is launch of ZK tokens. Maybe we'll finalize it this year, but if we would not, that would be the first months of the upcoming one. Also, this is launch of the messenger, and which is, we believe, one of the most important things overall, is attracting more business users to the application We already have several in line. We need to implement their products to integrate them within our ecosystem, but we want to attract more. So we believe that the most important goal is scaling. What makes Swiss technology unique compared to others like Ethereum or Bitcoin? That's a complex question because, in the first place, all of the blockchains are unique in some way, but Swisstronic is unique because we're built on Cosmos SDK. However, we are EVM compatible, which makes it easier for developers to do things on top of our chain. And also, the tech itself is compatible with most of the networks which are around. And you can use the Swisstronic chain even if you're not there. We believe that's the most important
And
thing.
you can also use SGI modules off chain as well.
Yeah. And next question comes from Pemburu Haria. What are the plans of the Swisstronic team to achieve its goal of increasing blockchain adoption in everyday life? Actually, we are working with B2B clients every day and telling them that blockchain is the new thing and that they should move their operations there. However, we give them the compromise of not only doing everything in the centralized way, but having some points of centralization which they like and which give them some vision of the stability of the future, that they would be compliant, they will not have any problems with the regulators. And the thing that we're building, most importantly, is the thing on the ground. This is not something that would not be compatible with the currently existing financial system or the financial system of the future. And that we believe is the most important thing here. However, to achieve our goals, we are scouting all the time for the new clients, looking out for the new solutions and for the ways how to make our product better and easier for use. How to bring old school investors to step into the crypto or Web3 space as planned by Swisstronic. That's all about the sales process and, of course, the product positioning. But I pretty much believe that I answered this in the first part of this question. Next, Lulon Katmo. Sorry for my pronunciation if it was wrong. How is the road to mainnet going? Everything needs to be audited carefully. As Dennis have already said, the audit is on the way. And at the moment when it will be finalized, we will reveal the details of the company who was doing this audit and also, of course, their results. But we know that it's quite important and also to list on the tier one exchanges, you need to be audited. That's quite important. So we're on the same page here. Are there any additional funding programs for developers on the Swisstronic ecosystem? Besides the SWTR token grants, are more tangible assets like cash or USDT used? Actually, it really depends on the type of the grant and on the type of the thing that you are building. Because let's say for bug bounty program, we provide USDT. For the grants, we provide our own token in the first place, because when people are getting our token and using it within the product that they're building, that drives the usability of the token for other owners of it, for our community. So
It helps adoption, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Because if you will provide only USDT, and it's quite likely that a lot of the grantees that would apply for our programs would go there only because of money and not because they like our ecosystem in some way and they want to stay there to market their product and so on. So it's just about our philosophy. The next one is, when will the team open mainnet related registration? It will happen in the beginning of next year. And as I already told, we're finalizing the document with all the details, and highly likely we'll have additional call with the validators of the network to announce everything and to have a small Q&A session. The next question comes from ANBC Ken. Could you elaborate on the key milestones achieved since the launch of testnet 2.0 and the timeline for the mainnet launch? So the key milestones right now are the testnet 2.0. I think it started this summer, somewhere there.
Yeah. So but the question is about the milestone since the launch of the testnet.
No, I just wanted to to have a small rewind when it started. Since that time, actually, a lot of things were done. We finalized SDI. We made the first test runs of SDI. Also, we acquired several clients. The B2B clients who work with our software, who plan to tokenize their assets or to use our verifications in their everyday operations. And also, we're in the middle of the ZK tokens, so everything is quite fine, I would say. Next question comes from Shri Full Lord. What challenges did you face integrating Intel SGX for private EVM execution, and how were they addressed?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Well, first of all, I would say that there are not a lot of Intel SGX projects out there, and not a lot of people who have experience with it. Also, it's kind of difficult because you have to use the real hardware, and obviously you can't develop on your MacBook because even the software emulation doesn't work on M1 Max. And so I would say mainly the key things were finding the library which works best. Also, the Rust versions are kind of an issue because of some third-party libraries require new Rust versions that are used by the Intel SGX SDK, Intel SGX SDK wrapper. And also, I would say that no the environment, I would say that the code runs and is pretty challenging. The debugging is particularly painful sometimes, and yeah, I would say getting random seg faults is not very fun. So yeah, that's kind of a pretty technical overview. So
Yeah, so it was painful,
yeah.
I can say. Okay, next question comes from Rahim DTN. How does the Cosmos SDK's inter-blockchain communication enhance interoperability for Swisstronic, and which blockchains do you aim to connect with first? In the first place, IBC actually connects all the Cosmos-based blockchains between each other, which is quite important. And also, the way how the Cosmos is standardized lets us reuse the same features of different blockchains, in different environments. That's quite nice. However, it would be important to mention that we also use Hyperlane to be interoperable with other chains which are not Cosmos-based, and specifically the EVM ones. So yeah, and in this way, we can say that we are already connected to all the Cosmos and EVM chains. Next question comes from Bytool1650MI. Can you explain how Swisstronic ensures end-to-end encryption and transactions, and how this impacts performance?
Well, I would say that first of all, we have two EVM RPC endpoints. We have the encrypted one and the unencrypted one, so it's customizable privacy. So you choose which one to use, and if you use encrypted end-to-end encrypted one, you encrypt the data with the node's public key, which is actually the key that's derived from the private key of the EVM of the SGX enclave. And so you encrypt the data with the node's public key and your private key. And so the node decrypts it in reverse, obviously, inside the SGX enclave, thus achieving from your point of execution of encryption code up until the actual enclave running on the node. You achieve data secrecy, and so even the node operator, so the validator, cannot understand what's inside. So yeah, regarding the performance, I would say that of course, because of Intel SGX encryption, the performance is a little bit degraded, but we've tried our best to optimize it. And we, of course, have several solutions to further improve it. But right now we are waiting to fix up all the bugs and make the chain mainnet ready, and we focus on that. We already implemented in the past several fixes for the performance, And yeah, well, I would say that currently we shouldn't have any huge performance bottlenecks.
Okay, let's move further. Question from Sajdaru. What support does Swisstronic provide for developers transitioning existing Ethereum smart contracts to its ecosystem? In the first place, that's documentation, and also if you are a developer of the contract that already has some users, you should just apply for the grant program, and you receive a grant for bringing your product to our ecosystem
And our support.
Yeah, in many ways in marketing and elsewhere. Next question comes from Fate Mason 254308. Other plans to expand developer tools beyond Ethereum based ones, such as supporting alternative programming languages or frameworks. At this moment, we do not plan to do something like that. However, we had some discussions of adding the Solana support, but it really depends on the way how the Solana will develop in the future. And also, definitely, it depends on the partnerships that we're going to make and whether it would be interesting for our community, whether you like that, and whether it would be valuable for the ecosystem in the end.
I would add that we're focusing on providing SDI support for different chains. And well, that means that we try to provide SDI and the service to different chains and frameworks, and for our users to be able to use it from any chain or environment that you may want to.
Yep. The next question from Anamha. How does Swisstronic encourage active participation in its on-chain governance process, particularly among smaller token holders? In the first place, it's quite important for the people who are holding the token, who are with the project for a long run, to see that it's growing in a healthy way and that the good decisions are made. And I believe that's not even the on-chain governance process, but also discussions in the Discord or in any other places, let's say on X, about the platform, how it should develop, what it should create, are quite important. And the token holders, I believe, understand it on their own, that when they're making good decisions, the token becomes more popular among other people, and when they're making bad decisions, it does not. And that's the most important answer here, I believe. The next question is big. It comes from Manuel Refix. The Swisstronic project focuses on compliance, user privacy, and security, which is the foundation of the blockchain technology. Google just announced their breakthrough in quantum computing. Quantum computers must pose a potential threat to Bitcoin and similar blockchain-based cryptocurrencies due to their ability to break the cryptographic algorithms that secure them. Is there a significant threat to the Swisstronic blockchain and other blockchains? And how is the Swisstronic project poised? I think
to deal with this threat if it's real.
To deal with the threat if it's real.
Yeah. So I would say that first of all, the announcement made today is about the quantum computers that includes 105 qubits, and so that amount is currently vastly insufficient to solve any real-world encryption like cryptography problems. But anyway, so of course quantum computing is developing, and we've already prepared for that. We have our eye on quantum resistant encryption mechanisms, and as well I would say that we keep an eye on developments in this field. However, I would say that right now you shouldn't worry about it, and it's quite even today's quantum computers are quite far from breaking the currently used cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, for example, or Swisstronic in this case. I'm no expert on this topic. However, I suppose you can research on X or other platforms. There have been plenty of discourse on this topic already.
Yeah, but we believe that we're covered. That's the most important. thing. Okay, a question from one of our validators, Validator VN. What's the progress on software readiness for the mainnet, estimate by percentage, and how are things going with security audit? I believe we already answered that. So on the software readiness, mostly we're ready as it is. The features that we are building right now are something on the top of the chain. So even if it would not be ready, that would not really affect the TGE date. And security audit is on the way already, so we're just waiting for the results, and we'll share them ASAP. So I believe that's all from the questions that we had before the call. I've seen one interesting question in the chat that I would like to answer. Question from Levinald. Hi, my question is, what extra benefit or advantage do I get from building a solution on Swisstronic? Does it add an extra layer of benefit? In some way, if you're building something with us, at this moment, you can apply for the grant program. And if that's something interesting, we can help you with marketing and also help you finance the solution. I believe that's it. And the second part of this question is, how decentralized is the network? Seeing that Swisstronic uses standard mint consensus, which means it uses a predefined set of validators.
Well, I would say that you can see some of our validators in chat, as well as you can find the live validator data on Cosmos Explorer. And so I would say that the network is pretty decentralized, as multiple companies are running validators for Swisstronic chain in the testnet. And as Valerie said previously, we already have several discussions regarding the mainnet validation with different validators as well.
And also it's important to say that a lot of the validators are located in different parts of the world. So we are quite secure from this point of view in different jurisdictions and with different, some of them use cloud, some of them use the in-house hardware. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And in all the other ways, the network is governed, so it's quite decentralized. Okay. Another question: what are the plans for collaborations with other blockchains? At this moment, we have discussions with several ones, but we want to concentrate on the businesses and on the companies that would use our services. Definitely, we will announce a couple of collaborations with other chains, but we just believe that it's more important for the token holders to have the real life use cases where you would be able to apply the tokens to use the services, and that's quite important right now. However, if you believe that some kind of collaborations would really help the whole project benefit from that, we're quite open for the discussions. So just share it with us, and would happily dive into that. How does Swisstronic handle increasing transaction volumes without compromising the privacy and encryption features provided by Intel SGX? I would say that we have already made several tests, and we can actually work with quite an amount of transactions, and it doesn't look like we'll exceed this amount in some, in some foreseeable future. So we're fine on that, and anything related to the SGXs should not really stand in our way.
Also, I would add that we also have the Cosmos part, which does most of the heavy lifting when it comes to our native token transfers, for example, SWTR. So we expect that to also help us with network usage and scaling.
Also a question from the validator. As I know, the testnet will continue running also after the launch, right? Yeah, you're right. After the launch, we'll still have the testnet as the playground for the new features and the mainnet. Some of the validators would be concentrated on the mainnet, obviously, but a small amount of them, which we'll select, just handpick on our own, the ones that were most in contact with us, let's say, during this time, and who helped us on several small or big issues, they would highly likely maintain the testnet. So yeah, that's it. Also, it's important to mention that some of the validators will handle the hyperlane nodes in order to provide cross-chain communication. How does Swisstronics' approach to encrypted transaction data differentiate it from other privacy-focused blockchain solutions? I would say that what's the real big differentiator between us and other privacy-focused blockchains is that we provide the privacy features only in combination with something, making this privacy compliant. Let's say, of course, you can make private transactions in Swisstronics themselves, but Swisstronic is a currency that is not somehow binded to any kind of asset. This is just a utility token that is used to fuel the network in the first place. However, you can make the private USDT transaction using Swisstronic and using ZK tokens in the first place. But to do so, you need to be verified and your funds need to be screened for anti-money laundering. And that's, I believe, the most important difference between us and the chains that just provide the private transactions on their own without, any additional layers. We just don't think that most of the regulators would be okay with the fully private approach. Of course, there's place on the market for this, and it will still be there, but they are fighting the crime, and to fight the crime, you need to have some way to identify it, and that's, I believe, the bottom line of this. Are there any unique features or updates planned for testnet 3.0 that users should be excited about? Yeah, because let's say the users of the testnet 3.0, okay, let's say if the ZK tokens will be released this year, the testnet 2.0 users will see it the first, but quite likely the testnet 3.0 users, so the post-TGE testnet users, will see the ZK tokens first, and they will see the messenger first and any other features that we will roll out in the future. So that would be the pioneers that would be testing our tech before anyone does, and they will affect the end products because they would be the ones we'll communicate with to get their feedback, whether they like the features, whether they don't, what they want to change, and so on. So yeah, definitely that would be great, guys. You're great, so I hope you'll move there too. Okay, wow, there are much more questions there, but we'll try to answer most of them. Adoption and usability. Swisstronic is building for privacy and security, but a lot of similar projects struggle with user adoption. How is Swisstronic making sure its solutions are practical and easy to use for both developers and regular users? For developers, as we have told, we are doing a chain which is EVM compatible. So we're not trying to make developers use some new programming language, some libraries that they don't know. We help them stay in the same environment that they love and that most of developers are quite familiar with. Yeah. And for the users, we're trying to provide the user experience and user interfaces that we hope you like. If you don't, feel free to make a complaint in our community.
Let us know. Yeah,
we'll try to fix that. But eventually, we are trying to build products that are quite similar to the ones that you were using before. And even though it has quite fascinating and brilliant tech underneath, it looks just like the regular product that you used before, and any other thing. So I think something like that. Privacy and compliance are big focus areas in crypto right now, with projects using tech like ZK rollups and confidential computing. What makes Swisstronic stand out from the rest, and how do you plan to stay ahead as the space gets more crowded? As I said, because we are focusing on the compliance, not only on the privacy itself. Okay, yeah. And about the question, how the token will actually create value for the users and the ecosystem as a whole, I would just say that the token, as I told, is a utility that is used to make the system run. And what's important that you can use any other tokens to make it run. The Swisstronic is just the native token of the network, and that's it. could you please share more details about community mining? What is its purpose and how does the community achieve it? So you would be able to actually collect. I'm revealing the details which might change further, so don't consider it as as something final. You would be able to actually mine a small part of the Swisstronic token if you just go to the application every day and do some small tasks. Let's say perform a transaction on testnet, go to the faucet or anything else. Just small things, and also coming to the app so that you would get really friendly with this app, and you'll make reports to us about the way how it looks. Do you like it or not? What we should add, and so on. And then when the TGE will come, we will just provide the airdrops for the people who are doing this kind of things. What are the most highlighted feature in your Swisstronic platform that can make it stand out in the market? Does it open for beginners or only for crypto experts? How you would welcome non-crypto natives to explore your platform? Actually, we are trying to build the ecosystem which would suit traditional finance and the crypto at the same time, but not just being a standalone ecosystem, but more something like the glue that can be added to any existing products and make them stick together. So consider us as the set of services that can be applied both to the Ethereum ecosystem or, let's say, to traditional financing, so that the banks would be able to provide loans using our tech to verify the people who are getting these loans and to verify the funds which are flowing within these loans. Something like that. And we believe that we are different because we are doing something that's compatible with everyone and that makes everyone happy. Both people who want to keep their data private, and both the regulators who want to have verified information that the people who are using the tech are not fraudsters, and that the funds that are being used within the ecosystem are not stolen or not laundered.
And also, app developers or companies using the system, of course, benefit from the user base and simplicity of integration.
Yep. One more question from Livinald. Just one more question. Does anyone get to run a validator node? Oh, yeah. I think we have something like 80 validators at this moment or something like that. So
yeah, the number changes all the time. So
yeah, quite a lot. So if you want to launch your node, you can review the documents, and also, if you want to apply for the validators program, you can do that. However, as I already told, we have more than 70 validators at this moment, so it may, be complicated to get in, but you can try. Why not? How does Swisstronic plan to address potential vulnerabilities in Intel's GX, given its crucial role in ensuring transaction privacy?
Well, first of all, we have the upgrade mechanism implemented some time before, as well as some experience in mitigating newly found vulnerabilities. And as well, we are part of the community of people who have experience with Intel SGX. And we are in the DCC Alliance, which is also kind of community in itself for private confidential computing. And so we have a lot of different experts in the field. So yeah, I would say that we try to follow all the best practices, and we have we try to receive the knowledge about such problems as fast as possible, as well as being trying our best to protect users from these kinds of problems as well.
Yeah. And also, we were discussing other ways, how we can substitute the Intel SGXs in the future. And we already have several ideas, but they're quite strategical. They can take a lot of time. But don't worry, we are quite covered on this matter. And at this moment, Intel SGX provides quite a layer of privacy that we really need. Also, as we discussed today, we have the ZKs, which are on top. And if you're not really sure that SGX is enough, you can also use ZKs. And at this moment, you're like totally covered 2 times. Like, what do you want more? What measures are in place to mitigate risks from malicious actors exploiting the governance system? That's a good question, but I think that if you could formulate it a bit differently and provide it before the start of the future AMA, that would be quite helpful. Because just to be on the same page here, the governance works pretty much the same as it works in Cosmos, and Cosmos doesn't really have any problems with malicious actors during the governance process, and also the token distribution is quite fair, so there should not be anything really crazy about this.
Also, as we already discussed, we have a pretty decentralized system of validators. So yeah,
So it's quite unlikely that someone would be able to really, to really wreak the governance process. Okay. I don't
Seems
see
it's all.
any more questions. I just see a lot of TG messages. Guys, it's quite soon. We'll announce it. Don't worry. We are also looking forward to that, but we want to do it perfectly so that all of us would be happy. I don't know whether we'll meet in this year, maybe in the next one. If we won't, I'm wishing you a happy upcoming year and looking forward to see you again.
Yeah, and Merry Christmas or any other
Kind of celebration that you
kind of
prefer.
celebrations, yeah, that you have, or Happy New Year. I don't know.
Yeah.
All of that.
So yeah, have fun. Thank you so much for participating, and see you soon.
See you. Thank you for joining us.